Superhero games. Why are there barely any good ones? I mean, when they're good, but when they're bad, they're pretty bad. What is it about superhero games that a lot of developers just don't seem to get right? Is it perhaps the flying around? I mean, swinging around New York is what made Spider-Man 2 so great, and not being able to do anything is what made Superman 64 so bad. But then again, you can also free roam around in Arkham City, and personally I thought that took away from the experience. You can also kinda free roam around in the first Iron Man game on PS3, but other than that, the game is just downright awful. So what exactly is that secret ingredient to making superhero games so great? I think when you really get right down to it, it's being able to make you feel like you are the superhero. In Arkham City, you feel like Batman. In Spider-Man 2, you feel like Superman. No, you don't. In Spider-Man 2, you feel like Spider-Man. In Superman 64, well, you know the rest. So when I first heard that there was a Deadpool game on the way, I didn't know quite what to think. And I read my fair share of comic books, you know, mostly Batman, Watchmen, Spider-Man, regular shows, Stapler Boy. Oh, and by the way, yes, Stapler Boy is really a real comic that I make. I only got 2 pages at the moment, but I'm working on it. And one day, this will be a graphic novel. But I've never once read a Deadpool comic. All I really know about him is that he's pretty much Marvel's comic relief, breaking down the fourth wall until it's nothing but powdered bricks. And even after seeing all the trailers, I really wasn't sure if this would translate to a game very well. I don't know, it just came off very obnoxious, I guess, and I know, the whole point of Deadpool from the get-go is that he is an obnoxious superhero. That's kind of the point in his character, but I don't know, whether intentional or not, I don't know if I'd really want to play a game where you play as an obnoxious superhero. Oh, bloody blah, just get to the game already. Who the hell wants to hear this fat kid talk like he's so smart? You, complaining about someone being obnoxious, oh that's rich. Okay, no, I'm not doing this. Okay, guys, the whole conscience thing, no, everyone who I've seen review this game has done the whole conscience thing. Come on, it's really unoriginal, I'm not doing that. Implying that any of your material is original. Just get on with the review, mister. I know everything about game design. Okay, fine, whatever, let's just get on with it, I suppose. Anyway, without further ado, let's just get into Deadpool. About time. The story in Deadpool centers around Wade Wilson, aka Deadpool, trying to get his own video game idea off the ground while saving the day from some guy called Mr. Sinister. And if that doesn't already tell you everything you need to know about this game, the bad guy is actually called Mr. Sinister. I mean, I thought Sinestro had a pretty weak name, but at least they changed that up a little bit. I can't even make fun of that name. You might as well have just been called Mr. Baddie. And I guess the developers put just as much effort into the story as Marvel did with naming Mr. Sinister, as I don't really remember any of it. But I'm not gonna put that against the game at all, because if you couldn't already tell, this isn't exactly the kind of game that thrives on story. Keeping with the Deadpool character, the game never lets up with the fourth wall jokes and the self-awareness, and, well, let me just say that it isn't exactly my kind of humour. I mean, I'm not above laughing at silly, stupid things, but there's more to a joke than just shouting banana for what seems like no apparent reason. Singing a pee-pee song, having characters turn into a taco for a couple of seconds, using outdated internet memes that were never really that funny in the first place.
Yo, dog, I heard you like boots. So I put my boots in this boot so I can stop you while I stop you. It's not funny, it's not funny, it's not funny, it's not funny, it's not funny!
And to me, random just isn't funny, and neither is just saying banana. Now look, I get it, I really do. It's obnoxious because it's Deadpool. If it was well-written humour, it would completely go against his character. But something this game seems to do a lot is poke fun at how crappy the game itself is. Like pointing out the plot holes, the generic henchmen, the story, the awful level design, the game tropes. Oh, so it's being ironic, okay. Wait, no, that's stupid too. Let's say for the sake of argument, I was punching you in the face. Chances are you wouldn't really be enjoying the situation. But if while punching you in the face I were to say, oh, I'm such a jerk, punching you in the face like this, wow, I'm such a big stupid head, does being self-aware about it make it okay to still do it? No, it makes it worse! The game makes a joke about how terrible the henchmen are, and then just carries on the game. But you're still left there fighting this awful, repetitive, generic AI. And even if you don't think the henchmen are that bad, bad, the game does think that. It knows it's bad, but it thinks it can get a free pass if it makes a joke about it. It doesn't work like that. Saying to the player, oh, I'm so uncreative, doesn't give you a free pass to carry on being uncreative. Oh, but it's okay because he's self-aware about it. It's like watching David Brent or Michael Scott in The Office. It's so caught up in thinking that it's funny that it doesn't really stop to realise that it's just making everything worse.
They're loving it. Look at their faces when I'm around, so...
Yes, I can see that.
And in the US office, Michael Scott is known for saying that's what she said.
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 But not because it's funny. In the show, his character is supposed to be an obnoxious, unfunny boss who nobody finds funny because he resorts to all the easiest jokes. So seeing Deadpool make the exact same jokes in an actual attempt at being funny, with no irony or sarcasm, is funny in itself but for the total opposite reason. Not only that, but it steals jokes too.
And he's purpose-built to eat little shits like you for breakfast.
Eat shit for breakfast.
I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
No.
Seriously, game? You're stealing material from Adam frickin' Sandler! And while I do think the voices in Deadpool's head are funny, oh well, the idea of it is anyway, I just don't think it's done very well here.
Dude, we have another dude inside us. Yeah, not in a fun way.
The gameplay in Deadpool is pretty much what you would come to expect in Devil May Cry. Fight hordes of enemies using guns, swords and other stuff, and then some platformy puzzle elements until the next horde of enemies. And while it was a chore for me to play this game for more than 15 minutes, I do really appreciate the approach to this game. Nowadays, so many games are caught up in the story, the graphics, the soundtrack, whatever, that it kind of forgets to be a game first and a cinematic experience second. But by doing the complete opposite, Deadpool focuses primarily on the gameplay, and not so much on the story, graphics, or anything else. It does feel like I'm playing the very definition of a video game, almost like it was single-handedly developed by Bart Simpson. But if the humour was a little bit better than just and the gameplay wasn't so mind-numbingly dull, or even if just one of those things was improved a little bit, this would have been a pretty great game. And every now and then there is a spark in there, a little semblance of an idea, a good video game. But it never really gets to shine because, like I said, the game is just too caught up with banana. But I'd be lying if I said the game didn't have at least a little bit of variety. The sections that include a top-down perspective or a side-scroller are pretty fun, and even if it doesn't make any sense being referenced in the game at all, this is kind of where I wish the game was expanded, other than, you know, just shouting banana. Also, I hope you like playing games in generic locations like sewers, skyscrapers or crumbled cities, because you'll be seeing a lot of that. Overall, it sucks that Deadpool is nowhere near as good as it should be. For a character that's deserved his own game for years, this game just felt incredibly lazy. The story is non-existent, the gameplay is nothing new, the humour is either terrible or stolen. Almost nothing about this game works for me. If this is how Deadpool is like in the comic books, the character as a whole is a wasted potential to me. If you watch classic Simpsons, Futurama or The Office, you'd know that you can have humour that's both clever and stupid at the same time. And I'm not exactly sure how well this game did financially, but I really want more developers to attempt a game like this. In a world of depressing browns, greys and moody protagonists, a colourful and quirky game like this is very much welcome. Even if it fails at making me laugh or engrossing me at all, I can still appreciate it for trying. And so that's Deadpool, a pretty generic and bare-bones hack and slash. Chances are you have played a million games like this before, and really, the only thing going for this game is that you get to play as Deadpool, and I don't know, I suppose if you're a die-hard Deadpool fan, you'll get a kick out of this game, but otherwise, you will just find that this game gets pretty boring pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, the only thing more boring than this game was this review.
Well, you know, I think my fans will like this review, and honestly, that's all that really matters to me at the end of the day. Your fans must have pretty low standards. You know, okay, how does this even make sense? I'm arguing with my own conscience. That doesn't even make any sense.
You don't make any sense.
Good one.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, high five to that.
Well, we can't high five, can we? We don't have hands.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Hey Dingus, high five yourself for us, why don't you?
Oh, now that is what I call a high five.
That was brilliant.
I really hope you guys aren't recurring characters. Why do you waste so much saliva? All the latest news, behind the scenes stuff, sneak peeks, upcoming reviews, all stuff you can find on my Facebook page in the description below. Click the annotations to watch my other stuff, or click the Farfetched icon to subscribe. Anyway, I gotta go. I'm currently working on a short film at the moment. It's about a carrot-wielding penguin who needs to save his koala girlfriend from a horde of velociraptor robot hybrids. It makes no sense, but it's random, so I'm sure it'll be a hit with all the 12-year-old scene kids with panda iPhone cases and pink and green and blue hair streaks in their hair who just love random humour. See you next time, everyone. So angry today is what Deadpool does to me.